Welcome to the Big 12 on ESPN. And here tonight from Lawrence, Kansas, Allen Fieldhouse, it will be jam-packed as we get ready to bring you Kansas and UConn. What an atmosphere, one of the best in all of college basketball. Number 5 UConn, number 21 Kansas here in Lawrence. And welcome courtside, everybody. John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla, two of the blue bloods of college basketball, squaring off, and two of the top teams in the game. This should be a great matchup.
You know what, John? All these teams, including UConn and Kansas, they have tested themselves in November and December. This will not hurt either team that loses this game. They'll come away better for this.
All right, Darren Peterson, one of the top recruits in college basketball for the Jayhawks, the freshman, not going to play because of that hamstring, so they are without their leading scorer. How will it affect them?
It's helping them. They went to Las Vegas without him. They played great. When he comes back at 100%, this team will be a lot better than when he left. They were too reliant on him, and all of a sudden we're seeing guys like Flory Bidunga, for example, blossoming.
Bill Self in year number 23 at Kansas. You see him against teams ranked higher, 24-4 all time here at Allen, going up against one of the best coaches, one of the best programs in college basketball, Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies.
Yes, they're going to play 6 top 40 programs in a 27-day period. And unlike the old days, John, because of the net rankings, these are quality wins and losses. Both of these teams have already tested themselves early in the season.
All right, we mentioned that Peterson will be out for Kansas. For UConn, Terrace Reed will not be playing in this one. Been bothered by an ankle injury. He did play in their last game against Illinois, but he was limited, so they are without one of their big guys.
Well, he's 15-9, but keep in mind, they have a tremendous freshman in Eric Reiba, the German, who is going to remind you of Raef LaFrentz, Isaiah Hartenstein, a little bit of Dirk, and he loves this moment because he's played well so far.
Well, a louder venue you will not find in college basketball, and it is jumping, literally, here in Lawrence, Kansas. We get ready for the tip, and it'll be Bidunga against Reiba. Good veteran officiating crew. Kip Kissinger, Doug Sermons, John Gaffney. And ready to roll. Away we go. Kansas controls. Jayhawks with the basketball. And this is Melvin Council Jr. Trey White handling here. We'll see where Kansas is able to get their scoring without Peterson here tonight. That could be the main issue. Jamari McDowell swings. And now with the shot clock at 5, out of bounds, and it'll be UConn basketball. A turnover to begin for Kansas.
John, we watched practice today. UConn, their scouting team and their scouting report was impeccable. And Bill Self told us earlier today they've had 4 days to get ready for UConn. So both of these teams should be locked in.
Silas Demery Jr. handling here. Demery spins and flips it back out. And now into the backcourt. That was deflected. And solo ball with it. Shot clock winding down. Ball flips it inside. Reiba up and under. Wouldn't go. And then that one ripped away by Demery. And they go possession arrow jump ball.
Good call.
It belongs to UConn.
Yeah, and I thought there might be a foul call there, but good call, good hustle by Demery. Take a look right here. Reiba with a good look at the basket. And White's just got to be a little stronger with that thing.
Demery to inbound. Scoreless in the early going, and a 5-second violation.
I would say early in the year, we're a month in, I haven't seen two teams prepare for each other like we've seen in the last 48 hours. Both of these teams understand how well coached the other team is, and they're locking in on the defensive scouting report.
They asked Dan Hurley, what's the challenge of playing in this venue? He said communication. We're an offense that bases itself on communication. They got a lot of plays with a lot of long names. We'll see how they execute here tonight. Feed inside, and a good seal off by Bryson Tiller, and Kansas jumps in front.
I love the two post, man. It's like old school Bill Self basketball. Badunga and Tiller give him a threat inside.
Karaban goes baseline, kicks to the corner, and they turn it over.
Take a look at the seal inside, pass over the top to the corner of the board. That's a staple of Bill Self's offense for 23 years here.
For UConn, their first true road game, and what a test. Both these teams playing a monstrous non-conference schedule. That one on the floor. Loose ball, eventually Ryba comes up with it, kick up ahead, and ball is fouled.
I'll tell you, I thought Flory Badunga should have got on the floor for that ball. He just got outworked on that play. A terrific hustle by UConn.
Yeah, both these teams play exceptionally hard for Dan Hurley, his team coming off a win against Illinois. That was at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, they handled Illinois quite easily, frankly.
And for Bill Self in Kansas, coming off a win, a comeback win out in Vegas against Tennessee. They entered that tourney at 3-2 and went 3-0. Bill Self got to be happy with the way things went.
I think what he loved is he had 5 players in double figures, and it speaks to how this team could grow once Peterson returns, hopefully for them soon.
And be clear, Darren Peterson, the potential that Bill Self talked about, one of the 10, or in the last 10 years, one of the best guards we've seen in college basketball. That good.
They're going to need this guy to get downhill.
Council off the glass and in.
Yep. That's where he's improved. You know, he's got the facial features of Tyshawn Taylor. Bill Self's mentioned that, and he's starting to play that way.
Jalen Stewart, bounce pass there to Demery. Ball, pull up. And that jumper rattles home. A very good shooter who's not off to a great shooting start this year.
Well, he had a talk last week with a guy named Ray Allen. And if anybody could get him out of a shooting slump, it might be a guy like that, the former Husky.
Badunga inside and uses the rim to seal off. First 2 for Flo.
15 points a game in Vegas. He became their go-to guy. And you wouldn't have thought that 12 months ago.
He's taken that next step, at least here in the early going, from last year when he averaged 6 and 5. Ryba contested, rebound pulled down by Stewart. And Ball able to hit. Solomon Ball knocks it down. Ball with all 7. Inside, and Badunga contested.
Well, watch Flory inside now. Spin move, and he's going to use that rim to protect the shot. Terrific job. And then a great hustle here by Stewart out to Ball. We talked to Solo today, and I said, Leesburg, that's suburbs. He goes, yeah, but my mom and dad are from Baltimore. Charm City.
And he's been solo so far. All 7 of their points as Badunga not able to hit. He said he's been solo since he can remember. He said he's only Solomon when mom gets mad.
I like it.
Badunga knocks down the second. And we're all tied at 7 apiece. Elbow, Ball, and the rebound pulled down by Trey White. White hesitates, gets a piece of the paint. Good hands by Stewart. Here's Tiller backing down on Carabin. Loose ball out of bounds, and it'll be UConn basketball. And it brings us to a break in the action. 7-7, 15:54 to go here in the first half. Jon Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla. And we welcome those of you that just watched Syracuse pick up a win over Tennessee. Here at Allen Fieldhouse, Jon Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla. 7-7 here in the early going. And Fran, we are treated here tonight to two of the blue bloods of college basketball and a couple of teams with designs on winning a national championship.
Yeah, no question about it. This is a typical Allen Fieldhouse top 5 team coming in. The place is rocking. Kansas without Darren Peterson tonight. But I like it in the sense that we've watched this team grow up in Las Vegas without him. When he returns, we have a lot more role definition.
And you look at what Kansas has done without Darren Peterson. It's kind of been a different guy every night.
And I think it's going to help, John. If you go back and watch the North Carolina game, he's so good. I thought his teammates stood around and watched him. And obviously he's not there right now. And everybody else is starting to step up. And it will certainly make them, I believe, a better team here in the next few weeks.
And Darren Peterson, the number 2 recruit in the ESPN 100. AJ Dybantsa, number 1, of course, but Peterson certainly a candidate to be the first overall pick in the NBA draft.
He's phenomenal. Boozer, obviously Dybantsa. It's too early to say who's the number 1 pick right now, but all those freshmen are off to a great start.
Well, speaking of great starts here tonight, solo ball with 7 points for UConn. And we are tied at 7 apiece inside Allen Fieldhouse, and the tough non-conference schedule grind continues for UConn. How about this schedule in the early going? I mean, a gauntlet. Holy cow.
Yeah, no question. 6 top 40 teams in 27 days. And this is sort of emblematic as you look at the teams coming up of what Kansas, Purdue, Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Illinois are doing. And I think the reason, John, is we've gotten to know the net well enough to know that a quality loss is if not only not going to hurt you, but it's going to help you come March.
All right, so for Kansas, their 2 losses, 1 to Carolina, 1 to Duke. Meanwhile, for UConn, their lone loss at home against Arizona. In that game, by the way, Tarris Reed did not play, and he is not playing here tonight.
Well, and Braylon Mullins, the precocious freshman, did not play. We expect him to play tonight. The McDonald's All-American. By the way, we have back-to-back Mr. Basketballs in Indiana on the court tonight. Badunga 2 years ago, and Mullins last year. We expect to see Braylon here shortly.
Dan Hurley, 8th season as the UConn head coach. A couple of national titles to his credit. UConn, of course, all-time has won 6. Kansas, under Bill Self, they've won a pair of national titles. 4 overall. Tied at 7 here in the early going.
Jamari McDowell's going to get a piece of solo ball right now. He really played well in Las Vegas.
Demery feed inside. Ryba puts it in, and UConn with the lead.
Well, if you haven't watched this young man from Germany, he's a special talent.
Ryba considered Kansas when he ultimately chose UConn. McDowell, good job contesting that pass by solo ball. Feed inside. Tiller on the double. Kicks out eventually. McDowell buries a 3, and that is something that Bill Self's team is going to have to do. Knock down perimeter looks.
And he's gotten better at it. Remember, Jamari redshirted last year, and I don't want to put him in the Marcus Garrett category yet, but he's got those kind of intangibles.
Marcus Garrett, who is a brilliant defender, kid out of Dallas. Bidunga with the rejection. McDowell comes away with it. Council now.
Oh, good pass.
Speed inside. Bidunga blocked by Ryba. Another shot at it. Bidunga again, and it kicks out. McDowell got it. Kansas leads it by 4. Ball finds Ryba. Right hand is good.
One of the problems Kansas may have tonight is they are going to switch a lot of these plays because there's so much movement.
Takeaway, this is Stewart. 4th turnover on the Jayhawks. Karaban. And that's off the mark. Council inside.
When you watch Kansas's defense, John, one of the problems with switching, and they want to because there's so much movement in the offense, is you can switch yourself into a bad matchup.
And a great move to the basket by Ball. 2 more for him, and he's got 9 here in the early going.
This is a guy that was supposed to be in a slump. Ray Allen might have really helped him.
White off balance. Jumper is good. First 2 for Trey White, the transfer from Illinois. His 4th school.
Well, he saved the best for last.
Indeed. 3 high schools and going from USC to Louisville to Illinois and now to Kansas. White has it. Hurley going, looks like with a line change. He's got 4 subs ready to come in at the table. Council at the basket. Contested. And UConn the other way. Demery. And that was well off the mark. Tiller feeds out. Kansas by a couple. White contested. And it rattles out, but Trey White will go to the line.
Well, Jamari McDowell, the young man from Houston, Texas, he redshirted last year. He was not a good shooter 2 years ago, John. The defense is one thing he's given them, and he's improved his shooting. And those are two big early threes for Bill Self's team.
That last foul on Jalen Stewart of the UConn Huskies. His first. White at the line. Knocks down the first, and wholesale changes for the Huskies. 4 new players onto the court. Jaden Dawson checking in, as well as Elmarco Jackson and the freshman Cole Rosario. Malachi Smith on the court, along with Jaden Ross. Dwayne Caroma, as well as the freshman you mentioned, Braylon Mullins. And White knocks that one down.
Good pace in Kansas. What I like about Kansas so far, they are trying to get out and run and get some easy ones.
Malachi Smith, the kid from the Bronx, the Dayton transfer, directing traffic. Shot clock at 10. Smith into the paint. Karaban now. Shot clock winding down off the glass and in. Well, there he is, Alex Karaban. I love Dan Hurley's description of him. He said he's a problem solver.
Yes, he's such a smart player. He knew the clock was low. That's not a good decision right there. Karaban is the ultimate winner. 2 national titles on his resume.
5th turnover on the Jayhawks. Kansas, an early 2-point lead here in Lawrence. Well, it's B Week here at ESPN. There is Solo Ball, who's developed a very special relationship with a young man, Elijah Randolph. Elijah, who officially joined the Huskies as part of Team Impact, an honorary member of the team. He was fighting a rare form of blood cancer. And Elijah Randolph, who attends so many of these UConn Husky games, but the connection to ball, his favorite player, and Elijah doing much, much better, we're happy to report. And a huge UConn fan, but a huge fan of that guy right there, Solo Ball, who said Elijah is basically like his little brother. B-Week at ESPN, as we highlight the urgent need for cancer research. And thanks to Principal Foundation's generosity, you can double your impact. Visit v.org/donate.
Elijah's got to love the start that Solo's had in this game. That's for sure. Braylon Mullins, young man from Greenfield, Indiana. Mr. Basketball, he was out for quite a while, couple months. Played a little bit against Illinois.
Now, Mullins dealt with an ankle injury. He made his debut on Friday against Illinois, 10 minutes and a couple of points. And he could really shoot it. For some, the best high school shooter in this freshman class. Smith handling, Bidunga pops out, and now a mismatch.
Nope.
Loose ball, and up ahead, Rosario! Oh boy, look out! And the freshman on the board, Cole Rosario, getting the crowd going here in Lawrence.
Can I confess that you asked me about 10 minutes before the game, how athletic is he? Exhibit A.
Well, Christian Brown, the comp that Bill Self had, Caravan fires, and that wouldn't fall. Jackson kick up ahead. Jaden Dawson gives off. Marco Jackson, who redshirted last year. Rosario not able to hit. And a loose ball. And they get a foul underneath. And that'll go on Flory Bidunga.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch this young man this summer at the NBA PA camp. He was supposed to go back and spend his senior year in high school. He reclassified. He joined Kansas during that summer period, John, and he's not ready yet. He's got to improve that outside shooting, but he is a phenomenal athlete, and he's a Bill Self kind of guy.
He and Bryson Tiller at overtime elite together. Jackson, a little too strong that time. UConn the other way, and the Huskies trailing by 4. Mullins catch and shoot off the glass and in. Sticks his tongue out and said, yep, that's what I was trying to do.
No, he wasn't, but he'll take it. I think he's shooting a little too quick, but he certainly got it to go.
Out of bounds, Dan Hurley saying to John Gaffney that was off Kansas.
Take a look at Braylon right here. He banks this one in. Talking about a kid, you think of the great players out of Indiana, Damon Bailey, Steve Alford, all those Mr. Basketballs, Braden Smith from Purdue.
Marco Jackson rattles home a 3. He started the first 15 games as a freshman. Missed last season with a knee injury.
His confidence is growing, John.
He's coming off a great game, 17 against Tennessee. Rosario rebounds the Malachi Smith miss. And now Jackson spins it off the glass.
Confidence.
Smith at Bidunga.
What I love about Elmarko is he missed the 3, and he took the very next one. He didn't even hesitate. And this is a guy that's put a lot of time in the gym with guys like Jacques Vaughn, Joe Dooley. And this one here, special. Former McDonald's All-American, who quite frankly was a bit of a disappointment as a freshman, but he certainly has put a lot of work in, and it's paying off.
a reminder, women's college basketball coming your way. You got number 17, Kentucky taking on Miami, NC State and Oklahoma, and then Tennessee and Stanford. All coming your way on Wednesday. Jackson left side, got it! Biggest lead of the game for the Jayhawks as they're up by 8. Now Marco Jackson has given the Jayhawks a boost off the bench. Solo ball. And a shot clock violation. It'll be Kansas basketball when we come back.
Well, we mentioned McDonald's All-American. This is what they were hoping for, and this is what they're getting.
Well, the ACC-SEC Men's Challenge finishes up tomorrow night on ESPN and the ESPN app. 6th-ranked Louisville takes on number 25 Arkansas at 7:15 Eastern, followed by number 20 Auburn hosting NC State.
Stephen Pearl's done a nice job of getting the Tigers going. Dad retired in the fall. I've been impressed with Auburn so far. I've been impressed with this Kansas defense, John. When you play UConn, you either chase them around all those screens or you switch. And when you switch, you cannot switch out of convenience. You have to switch with toughness. And so far, it's kind of flummoxed UConn to this point.
Credit to the Jayhawks, a 12-6 advantage on the glass. Kansas an 8-1 run. Kick to the right side. White ball fake. And a rebound pulled down by Tiller. And a good steal by Mullins.
Oh, he had him.
Oh, ball at the basket. And it's blocked. Mullins collects and puts it in.
Well, I thought Solo had Mullins ahead. Great defensive play, but good stick-to-itiveness by the freshman.
Braylon Mullins, kid from Indiana. Just his second college game, and he should be a high-impact player for Dan Hurley. That one off the mark from Jaden Dawson. Ball up ahead. UConn trailing by 6.
You see all that movement in the blue, and the white shirts are just staying in place and switching.
Mullins way downtown.
Oh,
Got
boy.
it. Oh, boy.
Yep.
That is good looking, and he gets 5 from his head coach. 30-second timeout on the court, and we'll take it with him.
It's not Chris Mullin. Yeah, I'll show you. That's perfect. See that? They think they're switching, but they're...
Back here in Lawrence, John Shelby, Fran Fraschilla, Kansas leading Connecticut by 3. 6.5 to go here in the first half. Battle of Blue Bloods, and a good one so far.
Freshman Braylon Mullins getting his feet wet, John.
This just his second career college game. Now Marco Jackson off balance, absorbs some contact. It's out of bounds. And it'll be Kansas basketball 3 on the shot clock.
Gotta have something quick here. And Bill Self's got it. And Luke Murray.
He's saying, watch for the lob.
Watch the lob, yep.
I'll let you shout it if it happens,
If it happens,
Franny.
they know it's coming.
Yeah.
Watch the lob.
Turnover number 7 on the Jayhawks. Garaband back to Demery. Demery with the shot clock under 10. Ryba backing down on the smaller McDowell off the window and in, and Connecticut within 1.
This young man wants his drive right here.
That is an explosive move from Melvin Council Jr.
That's what he's going to do all season. Watch out.
Mullins from deep. That's off. And Badunga rebounds. Kansas the other way, leading by 3. In an entertaining first half.
I tell you, regardless of who wins this game, Kansas, John, is better playing with. Now, they're not better without Darren Peterson. That's an obvious. But their role players keep getting better. And so far, a lot of them are stepping up like they did in Las Vegas.
Yeah, this is an opportunity to grow.
Right.
And obviously, when March comes around, they're going to need Darren Peterson if they're going to have a real chance at a national title. Inside, Badunga knocked out of bounds, and it's off Kansas. Meanwhile, this is the UConn team ranked 5th in the country, and they are national title good.
Oh, there's no question. Both, I would say UConn more so than Kansas right now. And they're without Terrace Reed.
Inside. And Kip Kissinger gets the hook and an offensive foul. Number 2 of the big guy, Ryba, getting a chance to start.
Take a look right here. Let's see. Yep, that's a good call, Kip Kissinger. You can't do that. He's got to know as a freshman, you've got 1 foul. You have no Terrace Reed. We need you on the court. Danny Hurley doesn't like the call, but it was a pretty easy one.
You can see him pleading his case to Kip Kissinger. Dow swings to White. And now Council, the St. Bonaventure transfer. Council puts it on the floor. Lob, Badunga! And Flory with 5.
And again, they have a switchable team, so they can negate a lot of the moving and cutting.
Garaband, triple. Rattles off, loose ball. White in a fight for it. Kansas basketball.
Well, this is a staple. As long as Bill Self has been here, when you come off that tight curl, get into the paint, just you know the big fella's going to the rim. Simeon, the Morris twins, Aldridge, Robinson, Badunga.
Four to go here in the first half. John Shambi, Fran Fraschilla. It is Kansas by 5. Badunga here as Karoma was out on Council now. Jumper. Demery pulls it down. It'll go a jump ball into the possession arrow, and it'll be Kansas basketball when we return.
The new SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants menu just dropped at Burger King. Dive into 4 delicious treasures while you still can.
Hey, where'd my Krabby Whopper go?
The SpongeBob movie, only in theaters, December 19th.
Is the cost of a weight loss procedure your excuse for not getting one? If you're a New York State employee with the Empire Plan, your procedure may be covered. No more excuses. Visit nybg.com to learn more.
Bill Self and the Jayhawks leading this one by 5. Self will turn 63 on December 27th, and what an amazing career he has put together. Here's a story here tonight. Solo ball with 9 to lead the Huskies. 7 of 8 Kansas players have scored, and the battle on the glass has been advantage Kansas, a 17-9 rebound advantage.
That gentleman to the right is Jacques Vaughn. Great player here, former NBA player, NBA head coach. He's returned to join the staff. And Bill Self looks pretty good, John.
He looks great.
He's lost 40 pounds. He had a health scare this summer. Told us yesterday he's cut out red meat. He hasn't had red meat in 4 months. And good for him.
Dunga up and in. And Flory with the bucket. He's got 7.
He's gotten so much better now. In high school, he made 32 straight field goals. Still an Indiana high school record, but I have this feeling a lot of those were dunks.
Well, last year he shot 70% from the floor.
Oh boy.
And that jumper way off the mark from Jalen Stewart. Kansas the other way, looking to add to a 7-point advantage. Tiller. Kick out Council. Great job there by Gemery as he knocked it off of Kansas, and it's Connecticut basketball.
UConn came with the double. Kick out, shot doesn't go, and a great hustle right there. Gemery, of course, the transfer from Georgia. Danny Hurley and staff compare him to Tristan Newton. Only a junior, Ball's a junior. I expect a lot of these guys back. Again, you see all the switching.
Ball off the mark. Trey White collects the rebound. 4th rebound for White. Under 2.5 to go here in the first half. Dunga, the double team comes. Council wide open.
Got to shoot that.
McDowell. And his jumper would fall. Caravan rebounds. Up ahead to Jaden Ross. Solo Ball knocks it down. It's a 2.
That's great offense right there. Ball with a great job defensively. And Ross with a great kick out. High school teammates down at St. James in Virginia.
Tiller not able to hit. Out of bounds. Connecticut basketball. 1:41 to go here, first half.
Take a look now. Solo, block out, kick out. And I don't know if the slump is quite over. He did shoot 41% last year, but boy, does he look good tonight. And what a terrific
here tonight with 4 field goals.
Terrific young man to talk to.
And a turnover. It's a travel.
Now listen, Kansas has played extremely well. They played great defense. If you're Danny Hurley, you take down 5 right now. They will have to make some adjustments to the switching. Low-scoring game, John.
Yeah, indeed. White swings it. Tiller thought about a 3. Puts it on the floor as it's stripped away. Connecticut ball. Gemery on the move. Ross will try. And Dunga with the rebound. Kansas back the other way.
Good 2 for 1 here. Got to get it up by 42.
And they do not.
No.
White, a little bit strong. Rebound pulled down. And UConn basketball. Here's Ball up ahead. Slicing inside, in and out. And Council to rebound, and Kansas will hold for the final shot.
I'm not sure that Danny Hurley didn't want Solo to pull it out. Now he's given Kansas an extra possession.
The ball in Council's hands. Let's see where they go. Council at the basket, flips it up, no good. Dunga. And that is the way the first half comes to a close. Kansas hitting just 3 of their final 12 shots. But they take a 5-point advantage into the break, 33-28 at the half. Now we send it back to the studio. Time for our halftime report. Kevin Connors, Ron Slay, and Seth Greenberg. Welcome back here at Allen Fieldhouse. We get ready for the start of the second half. It is number 21 Kansas leading number 5 UConn by 4. And welcome courtside, everybody. John Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla, solo ball doing the job for UConn with 12 points in that first half. They'll keep them in the game.
Yeah, he had to because Kansas's defense was excellent. They did a lot of switching. They kept the ball out of the paint, but this guy got to the paint, and he obviously can shoot from deep. He made 41% last year, and you hate to say it was a solo act, but they're going to need more than solo in the second half. But credit him for keeping them in the game. And then Elmarko Jackson, 8 quick points. John, he's coming off his career high, 17 against Tennessee. So Bill Self loves the momentum he's carried into tonight's game.
And again, Elmarko Jackson, those 8 points coming in just under 7 minutes of work as we get ready for the second half. You thought that Kansas did a good job at the defensive end.
Yeah, they did. You got it when you play this much movement, the way UConn runs their offense. We saw it today. You can either stay with your man, which tires you out, or you can switch and keep the blue jerseys in front of you. I want to see some more slipping and some fade screens from UConn in their offense in the second half.
Great atmosphere here tonight. What else is new? Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas, as the second half is underway. UConn basketball.
Kansas back to their switching. They don't care who they have on a player.
Ball not able to hit, out of bounds, but it's Kansas basketball.
Now you ask yourself, why can they do that? Well, because Tiller and Badunga move their feet extremely well and can guard guards tonight.
Elman Council Jr. with the basketball. Kansas leading it by 4. No Darren Peterson tonight for the Jayhawks. Remember that. Still out 7th straight game he's missed with that hamstring issue. Badunga not able to hit. Rebound pulled down by Stewart.
You like the fact that Bill Self went after Ryba with 2 fouls, but Ryba held his ground. Nice pass.
Speed inside. Ryba puts it in.
This young man, John, he played for the German under-19 team. They were the silver medalists. Of course, the Bansa, Coapete, they won the gold. But he was tremendous for Germany.
McDowell tries the Euro step, and he's fouled.
It was a good delivery by Caravan right here. Watch the little slip screen, and that's what we're talking about. If you're gonna switch, you better not get slipped, and that's a good adjustment right there by UConn. Got to make that switching pay.
Ryba with 8. You look at some of the notable players from Germany this year. Ryba, a freshman who considered coming here to Lawrence and getting the opportunity to start with Terrace Reed out with the ankle injury.
We're going to see Christian Anderson a lot. Ivan Karchenkov is starting for Arizona, although he just had an ankle injury. Germany basketball, Schroeder, the Wagners, obviously Dirk. Very good basketball in that country.
UConn looking to find some rhythm at the offensive end. They had a long shoot around going over their plays earlier in the day. Feed inside, good hands by McDowell. It's a takeaway.
Bad angle to throw it in there. They tried to take advantage of the mismatch.
Badunga able to find Tiller, who flips it up a little bit strong. Caravan to rebound.
I'd say Tiller's got to go stronger than that, to your point. He babied that ball up there.
Caravan puts it on the floor. Left hand, a little bit strong. Ryba puts it home. And he's got 10 now.
Danny Hurley told us today that with Tarris Reed out, Eric Ryba has somewhat saved the early part of their season.
Ryba off the window and in. Or I should say Tiller off the window and in.
You know, in the old days, you'd see a freshman like that, you'd get excited, and you'd say, I can't wait till he's a junior. Different college basketball we have now.
Yeah, the landscape has changed, no question. Bryson Tiller with 4 now. As that jumper wouldn't fall for Ball. Caravan tried to save, couldn't do it. And it belongs to Kansas. 17:20 to go here in the second half.
You pointed it out in the first half. Tarris Reed, who's close to being back, John, he's a legitimate double-double guy. And hopefully they don't play without him much longer because, as you mentioned, the schedule doesn't get easier.
Yeah, he missed time early because of a hamstring. Of late, it's been an ankle problem for him. Council inside. Take it away. UConn the other way. Demery pushing ahead. McDowell on Demery. Beats him to the spot. Knocked away. Council collects. Council ahead. Council is fouled.
Well, what you love about Melvin Council is he's learning that he's got to be a guy that attacks. Open court, half court. It's a young man that from Rochester, New York. He started at Wagner on Staten Island. You ever been in that gym? Probably holds about 1,000. St. Bonaventure and now Kansas.
A reminder this Friday night on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Number 11 Gonzaga taking on number 18 Kentucky. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific for Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. Good matchup there. Council gets that one. Kansas leading by a half dozen. Malachi Smith here. And Smith traveled. It's a turnover.
That's the example we talked about. Tiller switching onto a point guard, keeping him in front of him, and then forcing the turnover. Kansas has done a really good job all night of what I would say switching with toughness.
9 turnovers on UConn. Council gives off McDowell. Shot clock under 10. McDowell. Tiller flies in. White collects. And they get a travel. Gonna go back the other way. And they're under 16 timeout. Kansas leads at 39-33. Back at Allen Fieldhouse, the great Bill Murray in the house, cheering on UConn. His first experience here at Allen, and talking to him at the half, he absolutely loves it. He's cheering on his son, Luke, UConn assistant coach. He ran their shoot around today, and impressive.
Yes, it was. Danny Hurley's got a great coaching staff. Luke Murray, Kamani Young, and now Mike Nardi, who was at Villanova. Tommy Moore right there. Luke is an outstanding coach. The problem for Luke and Kamani Young is they can't take a low or mid-major job because they're so well compensated at UConn. They got to hold out for a higher level job, but both of them are all ready to be head coaches without a doubt.
So Luke Murray, Kamani Young, and Danny Hurley, and don't forget they have another coach in Alex Caravan.
Yes, they do, don't they?
I mean, a guy who, when his career is over, he told me he definitely wants to coach. Dan Hurley made no bones about the fact that Caravan knows their offense as well as any of their coaches.
That ball, look at this, that's more defense.
Council step through and a block. And a foul on Connecticut. And that'll go on solo ball.
I want you to watch this, John. There's a reason that UConn is not getting into the paint. Watch the switching, and you keep the ball in front of you. And that's been a problem for UConn the entire night so far. And I mentioned it earlier. Kansas got back from Las Vegas. They took Thanksgiving off. They've spent 4 days preparing for UConn because of the respect they have for this team, and for good reason.
Kansas missed their first free throw of the night. They've made 8 in a row since that initial miss. And Ball will grab a seat. Is that the announcer jinx? Did I just do that?
Nah, no such thing.
That one knocked away briefly. Smith, Caravan. Mullins. And that one collected. Mullins again. Got it.
Great effort. And you know that kid's got confidence. He didn't even hesitate.
He's got 11. The freshman Braylon Mullins in just his second college game. That's a different looking stroke, isn't it?
Sure
He
is.
can shoot it.
I grew up with a guy named Mullins. Chris, he had a pretty good stroke too.
Indeed.
I want you to watch this now. He's going to shoot it quick. A great hustle on the glass. And that young man's not going to hesitate. Wide open, let it fly. Danny Hurley's going to give him the green light all night long.
That last foul on Jaden Ross, his first, team foul number 4. And Mullins off the bench with 11 in this one. UConn trailing it by 4.
I'll tell you, a guy that's going to help UConn this year is Malachi Smith, John. He was basically a starter at Dayton, where his brother Scoochie started, now playing in Serbia. And he is going to really be a big factor this year for this team as a point guard from the Bronx. Savvy, tough.
Allen Fieldhouse packed, the students camping out. And here tonight, the Jayhawks leading a very good UConn team by 6.
Not taking advantage of the mismatch inside, even there.
Council did a pretty good job working against the much bigger Ryba. 9 on the shot clock. Mullins to inbound. UConn basketball.
They love Caravan here with a lot of movement.
Mullins goes baseline, flips it up and under.
How about that? That's called putting the shot blocker in jail. They were working on the left side. He went to the right side.
White lost the handle. And a foul on Connecticut.
Watch this, kids. When you attack these shot blockers, watch him jump stop. He's going to pump fake and use the rim to protect. Can't do that any better than that.
Mullins will go 6'6", just a shade under 200 pounds. The number 17 overall recruit in the ESPN 100.
I asked Flory Badunga if he'd ever played against Braylon in Indiana. Of course, they're back-to-back Mr. Basketball. He said no, that he said, oh, yeah, wait a minute. We had a junior-senior all-star game when I was a senior, as Flory checks back in.
Badunga back into the game. Flory with 7 points and 8 rebounds. White triggers, knocks it down. Kansas by 6. 14 to go here, second half. Mullins way downtown. Smith the rebound. Collects. Out of bounds. It'll stay with UConn. How about the little guy, Malachi Smith, getting the offensive rebound?
I told you he's from the Bronx, right? He's going to bring that Bronx toughness.
That's St. Raymond's toughness.
That's right.
Ross handling here. And a give off to Smith. Jaden Ross's younger brother, Jacob, on the UConn team as well. Shot clock winding down. Smith steps through, left hand rejected. Bidunga got a piece of it, and I'll say he did. Swatted it out of bounds.
It's
one on the shot clock.
More switching, John. Take a look. You see those white jerseys stay in front, and it's really difficult to get to the rim.
Caravan off the side of the backboard, and it's a shot clock violation. 11 turnover for the Huskies. Marco Jackson was barking out instructions. I think he wanted Trey White to come to him.
Well, they got a 4-guard offense now, so they should be able to get downhill.
Jackson step back, gets a 3. And Ross rebounds. Connecticut looking to chip away at a 6-point deficit. Huskies just have not been able to find any real rhythm offensively.
This is as good a defense as Bill Self could have hoped for. That's long.
Oh, and it's good from Caravan.
He keeps shooting those NBA threes. At that time, he found the range.
Just the 6th three-pointer for the Huskies. 6 of 21.
Feels like Kansas should be up 12.
Well, meanwhile, the Jayhawks have gone over 5 minutes without a field goal. Inside, Bidunga. Not able to end the drought. Smith. And the Huskies can tie it with a 3. A good one here in Lawrence. Number 5 taking on number 21. UConn and Kansas. To the corner, Ross. Caravan tips out. Smith. Mullins. Caravan inside, rolls it home. And UConn within 1. Caravan's got 7.
How good was that sequence for Caravan? Tips it out, shot fakes the 3, and then drives it to the basket.
Kansas 1 for their last 13. Jackson off balance.
Tough shot. Not good shots, John. And UConn is finding a rhythm. The heart of a champion. Look at this, go screen.
Caravan at the basket, and UConn has the lead. First lead since the Huskies run top 9-7. Council at the basket, off the window, in and out. They're 1 for their last 15. It's a 7-0 UConn run. Ryba, size advantage, knocked away, and a foul call.
This guy is one of the great winners in UConn history. Take a look. When they need him most, he delivers. He's not going to pay for a meal in stores, for a long time, although they don't have any restaurants and stores. That's another thing.
One of these people uses the Colgate Total Active Prevention System. It's 15 times more effective at fighting the root cause of many oral health problems. As for the other guy,
Sarah, good luck.
be dentist ready with Colgate Total.
Well, today is Giving Tuesday, a global day of giving. It's also the start of ESPN's V Week, when we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer. You can make a difference today by supporting cancer research, which is needed now more than ever. If you're able, give now at v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes to cancer research.
And these guys will be in New York on Tuesday. UConn to take on Florida. I know they're mad at me at Hops 44, Red Rock Cafe, but just kidding, Stores. I didn't mind coaching there, but it is a great basketball town.
Yeah, two of the best basketball venues.
Centers of the basketball universe, right?
No doubt.
Oh boy.
Mullins 2 more, and the freshman has 15.
How about this kid? That's why you don't worry about these early season games, because Reed's coming back. This kid's getting in a groove.
Council inside, flips it up, puts it in. And Kansas within 1. No Garrett Peterson tonight for Kansas. No Terrace Reed tonight for UConn.
Now what Caravan is doing is he's ghost screening, which means it looks like he's going to screen and he's going to disappear, and it causes some confusion on the part of those switches.
Ross puts it on the floor, hangs, and it's fouled. And Jaden Ross will go to the line.
Kansas, let's watch now. You'll see what we call a ghost screen. And Ross sets it and he disappears, and he's open in that corner.
Ross knocks that one down. Trey White checking back in as Bryson Tiller will grab a seat. Silas Demery Jr. will check back in. That free throw by Ross, by the way, the first this half for the Huskies. Kansas, meanwhile, 9 of 10 from the stripe. Connecticut by a couple. Bidunga rebounds the miss. Council up ahead. That's 9 rebounds for Flory Bidunga. White with the smaller Smith on him. Offensive foul.
Smith is so tough, and he's such a great addition. If this was the NBA, it's like picking up a veteran point guard for a playoff run. Watch him hold his ground. Easy call. White's got to know better. He's got to know the competition. That's a scrappy guy.
9th turnover for Kansas. 2nd foul on White. 3rd team foul on the Jayhawks. 8:43 to go here in the second half. UConn by a couple. Smith, hesitation, puts it on the floor. And that one knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Huskies. 8 on the shot clock.
Problem for Kansas right now is on the offensive end. They can't find somebody to go to. First half, it was Jackson.
That's the thing we talked about in the open. What does Garrett Peterson not playing mean? And potentially it could mean Kansas struggling to score as they get that last foul, I believe, on Jaden Dawson.
Well, I would say in Vegas, it became a strength with 5 in double figures.
Yep.
In the first 25 minutes tonight, we saw the ball moving. Somebody's got to want to take over offensively.
Only 4 team fouls on Kansas here in the second half. Mullins lost the handle, out of bounds. It's a turnover. Number 12 for UConn.
When you throw it into Badunga, he's going to get trapped. So he's got to be aware of that. But I think the guy that's most likely to get to the basket is Council. So he's got to stay aggressive.
Kansas at home, closing into the 8-minute mark, and they're down by 2. Marco Jackson is looking to isolate Badunga, and they get a foul inside, and that'll be on Karaban, and that's his second. Team foul number 6.
John, even though Karaban fouled, that weak side defense was loaded up. It was going to be hard to throw it into Flory.
And they get a travel on Jaden Dawson. 10th turnover for Kansas. Bill Self's team here in the second half having trouble finding the groove offensively. And certainly you give credit to UConn for the job that they've done on the defensive end. And they've showed a lot of fight, a lot of grit. Kansas led this game by as many as 8. And that's a foul on Jaden Dawson. His second, team foul number 5, and the fans don't like UConn by 2. Well, the ACC-SEC Men's Challenge finishes up tomorrow night on ESPN. And the ESPN app, number 6 Louisville taking on number 25 Arkansas. It's at 7:15 Eastern. And that's followed by number 20 Auburn hosting NC State. The ACC-SEC Challenge wrapping up tomorrow night. All right, so second half action. Kansas just 2 for 10 from the floor. Meanwhile, for UConn, 8 of 18. That'll go the other way. It's Kansas basketball, and turnover number 13 for the Huskies.
UConn has outscored Kansas 10-0 in the paint. Kansas has gone to the small lineup, I think in part to guard Karaban on the perimeter. No Tiller right now.
Trey White looking to feed inside. That pass intercepted, deflected. Council gets it back. Jackson into the paint, and he's fouled. Demery wanted a jump ball.
Good move by El Marco. He saw a little crease, got to the rim, and made sure there was contact.
So Jackson to the line. A 1-and-1 team foul. I beg your pardon, 2 shots.
His confidence has to be growing.
Marco Jackson, who has given the Jayhawks a boost off the bench here in this one. It's 1 out of 2. Ryan with the rebound. UConn leading it by a point.
Got to be concerned with Karaban. It's going to be Trey White. Let's see if Kansas continues to switch.
Shot clock under 10. Karaban puts it on the floor, gets a piece of the paint. To the corner, Mullins. And the putback is good. Demery sweeping in and puts it home, his first 2 of the night.
That was a soft shot by Mullins that just hung up there.
Jackson goes baseline, steps back, feeds Bidunga. And Flory will go to the line and shoot 2.
Good ball movement. They find Mullins in the corner. I want you to watch how softly this shot comes off that rim. That allows Demery to just sneak in there.
Bidunga at the line. Kansas down by 3. Flo knocks it down, a career 61% free throw shooter. He's got 8 here tonight.
Well, that looks good, doesn't it?
Indeed.
Keeps improving offensively.
Flory gets them both. Kansas within 1, and here comes the crowd. Ball handling from the free throw line. Got it.
Well, that time he got the switch he wanted. And Flory had to back up, worried about the drive. Solo stopped on a dime.
Solo ball with 14. UConn by 3. Inside Bidunga, a little bit strong. White collects, but they get a foul on Connecticut.
Watch Solo right here. There's the switch. Big guy's on him, so he's going to drive it, stop on a dime, create some separation, and knocks it down. He's been so impressive tonight, John. He's coming off a great sophomore year. Some in Husky land would say a little bit of an early slump, but I don't see it tonight.
Solo ball, impressive player, really good shooter. We both got a chance to chat with him pregame. He was excited to play here tonight. He and Alex Caravan were here a couple of years ago when UConn came to Allen Fieldhouse last time. And when I asked him about it, his face just lit up and he said, oh man, the atmosphere, and I know it'll be more of the same here tonight.
And it has been, without a doubt. Fans are in mid-season form tonight. Well, so much for that improved stroke.
UConn with the basketball, leading by 3, under 6 to go here from Allen Fieldhouse. Ball launches and hits. Biggest lead of the night for UConn. It's 6, 55-49.
All right, John, we've been talking about Kansas switching all game. Watch how you kill the switch. Mullen in the first half, he's not even going to come to the second defender. He's just going to stay behind the screen and shoot it. And in the second half, that last play by Ball, very similar. Take a look right here. He's going to just come behind the screen, stop, pop before they can make the switch. Now, you can only do that with great shooters, but Danny Hurley's got answers. That's called adjustments.
UConn much better from the floor in the second half. And Dan Hurley's team trying to come into Allen Fieldhouse and pick up what would be a huge road win.
Kansas going back to the two bigs, Tiller and Bidunga.
Lob. You trained me well, Franny. Under 5 to go. UConn with the lead.
I push it.
McDowell, kick out, Council. Timeout, Connecticut. Council to Bidunga. And Kansas right back in it. Absolutely rocking here at Allen Fieldhouse. 4:28 to go, and it is UConn by a point. As ball gets it inbounds, and now Gemery handles.
Kansas back to the switching. They got two bigs out there.
Connecticut a second half rebounding advantage of 18-5. Caravan inside. Off the mark, Bidunga pulls it down. And that's 10 rebounds for Flory Bidunga. Council aggressively at the basket. They go possession arrow and jump ball, and it belongs to Kansas.
Great design play right there. They opened up a driving lane for Council. That's his strength, but Demery had none of it. He just grabbed the ball into a jump ball.
Dow looking for a lob for a moment there.
Someone's got to get downhill.
McDowell fires. Can't hit. Ryba the rebound. Ball with Bidunga on him. To the corner, Mullins. And the freshman can't hit.
How about that rebound? That was traffic.
White gets bumped, kick out Council.
I would attack the freshman off the dribble.
Tiller. Loose ball, McDowell dives on the floor. Mullins comes away with it, and a foul on Bidunga. A 1-point game, under 3 to go. Reminder, the ACC-SEC Challenge starts tomorrow night on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Women's basketball, our featured women's matchup, number 17 Kentucky taking on Miami at 5 Eastern, and then Oklahoma and NC State cap the night with number 19 Tennessee taking on Stanford. Inside, and the bucket for Ryba.
Freshman mistake. They double teamed the pick and roll. Usually they've been switching that, but Tiller came out too high, and Ryba got inside.
Ryba's got a dozen. Kick opposite. McDowell with Mullins on him. Shot clock under 10. Council. And Ryba pulls down the rebound. Possession arrow, and it belongs to UConn.
Well, take a look right here. You'll see they've been switching this ball screen all night, but this time they come out and almost double team. Tiller just reacts late, and Ryba does a great job of slipping out early.
Ryba with a dozen. The freshman getting a start here tonight in place of Terrace Reed, and he's done good work.
Well, you know, Danny Hurley told us today he's kind of saved the early part of their season. This is a great effort by Kansas without Peterson, and you're seeing UConn at their best in terms of playing like champions.
Inside, Caravan, ball fake, bucket, and he wanted the foul. "30-second timeout, 1:52 to go, and the Huskies have a 5-point advantage. The number 5 team in the country with the lead on the road. 59-54, 1:52 to go. John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla. And Alex Caravan, the feed inside, the bucket.
You know, he's got 11, John. It feels like he's got 25, doesn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. Caravan, 11 points, 6 rebounds. And he's made big plays.
I coached against UConn. I followed him forever. And there have been great players, great ones, winners. This kid is one of the great winners in Husky history. Proving it tonight.
He's a problem solver, says Dan Hurley. Not too many teams coming to Allen Fieldhouse and solve this problem. Council off the mark, Mullins the rebound.
And that's not Melvin's strength, obviously, but they have to get something up on the rim.
Under 90 seconds to go, UConn with the lead. Solo ball here. Demery probing inside, puts it up. Bidunga the rebound. A dozen rebounds for Flory Bidunga. Marco Jackson rolls it home and one.
That's the new rule this year. This is the continuous motion. Once you make contact, you've got that extra step. And Jackson puts it in play perfectly.
A little NBA flavor to that rule.
Adding more offense, John, to the game.
Amen. Jackson trying to complete the three-point play and bring Kansas within 2. Rebound pulled down by Ball.
UConn's specialty is running offense, making sure everybody touches it. They'll use clock.
Shot clock under 10. Here's Ball. Caravan. Demery. And it rolls off. White now in timeout, Kansas. 23.2 seconds to go. And Kansas down by 3.
All right, you got choices here now. With 23 seconds, if you're Bill Self, you can run a play for a 3. They don't have a great shooting team, we know that. But that's an option. The other option is get it in and attack the basket. UConn's got the 3-point lead. They don't want to foul. Human nature tells them not to foul. But you have a chance to score quickly and set up a defense.
How would the math change if Darren Peterson were on the court?
You mean right now or the 40 minutes?
Right now.
Right now. I think it would certainly give them an option to shoot the 3 for him. But keep in mind, he's a great passer too.
Yep.
So he's going to attract attention and make the right play.
So Kansas down by 3. We'll see what Bill Self comes up with. Jayhawks 1 for their last 10 from 3, 5 for 17 overall.
Now,
last few years, it has not been a great three-point shooting team.
No, it hasn't. Now, we watched UConn today. They pretty much went over all special situations, right?
Yep.
Normally, in this situation, you're not going to foul. You're going to play the possession out. There's too much time to go back and forth.
UConn trying to come up with their first all-time win against the Jayhawks. And Kansas with another long home win streak against non-conference opponents. That is on the line. UConn leading it 59-56, 23.2 to go.
I would be comfortable driving this, trying to get the easy two and try to stretch the game out a little bit. But you have to play quick. Time is of the essence. You cannot dilly-dally because you're going to run out of it.
And again, consider if there's a miss, UConn a 23-10 rebound advantage in the second half. Council with the basketball.
Okay, they're going for a three.
Council finds McDowell, turns, flips it up, wouldn't fall. Rebound Mullins, he's fouled.
I'm not sure that's a high percentage shot right there. When you drive it, you've got to drive it into contact. Watch him fade away here with the left hand. See, that's a big guy that's normally going to foul you. You got to go into his body and make him put you on the line.
And Braylon Mullins. How about this? His first free throws of his career. He knocks it down. That's huge.
You think he's made that free throw 10 million times in the court in his driveway in Greenfield? I'd say yes.
Gets them both. And how about Braylon Mullins here in this one? 17 for the freshman. And UConn with a 5-point advantage, 9.2 seconds to go. Now Marco Jackson fires up a three. That wouldn't fall. Mullins has it, and UConn comes into Allen Fieldhouse at number 5, knocks off Kansas. Their first ever win against the Jayhawks. Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies pick up a win, and it was impressive.
You know, watching them practice today and prepare for this game, they're built for this because Dan Hurley has built a program that is about championships. Great respect for his opponent, Bill Self. Give them credit because they were on the ropes briefly, but managed to get off the ropes and throw some haymakers themselves.
UConn wins it 61-56. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire crew, I'm John Shelby. Thanks for watching. We send it back to the studio.